Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's meeting. I would firstly like to call upon the Very Reverend Canon Dr. Anthony Kane, the Dean of Portsmouth, to say prayers.
Your chaplain in my first year as Dean. Let us pray. Keep us, good Lord, under the shadow of your mercy in this time of uncertainty and distress. Sustain and support the anxious and fearful, and lift up all who are brought low. Give wisdom to this City Council and to all policymakers, skill to healthcare professionals and researchers, comfort to everyone in distress, and a spirit of generosity and compassion to us all. In all that we do, say and decide, may heaven's light be our guide. Amen.
Thank you very much again, Dean, for a fantastic year, and you're welcome to stay as long as you like, but I understand if you need to get off. Members, would you all like to take your seats? Thank you. So, before we begin, I would just like to explain that the following on from the Chief Executive's email to all councillors today, that there have been changes to the arrangements and running of today's meeting. And given the current situation of the COVID-19 and the government policies regarding gatherings, etc., on that subject at 3 p.m, or as soon as this council meeting ends, a briefing for all members on it will be conducted by a teleconference. Dial-in details have been sent out under separate cover. Consequently, in consultation with the Chief Executive as proper office and the group members or leaders, myself and the following matters will now be dealt with today and will not be dealt with today, and will be held over until the next ordinary council meeting. Item 8, the petition item, the petitioner is content with that, so he's quite happy. Item 15, recommendation on referral of motions to other bodies. And item number 17, notice of motions. And item number 18, members' questions. Notice that motions and questions will have to be put to a 6-month rule, will not apply. Are members here content to waive standing orders to that effect? Could you all please show? Thank you, very unanimous. Thank you very much, members. Finally, so that members can be well spaced in the chamber, only a minimum number of members are present here today to form a quorum. Consequently, I propose that standing order number 48A to be waived so that members are not required to be in their designated spaces for voting for this for the purposes. Are members all happy with that and agreed? Agreed? Thank you very much. As consequences, the cameras will not be able to identify which councillor is speaking. So, before starting item 1, I just wanted to inform members that notification have been received from the leader informing that Councillor Wood is no longer the portfolio holder for children and families. So I understand that the council leader has some words of thanks for the former Deputy Lord Mayor and Deputy Lady Mayoress. I'll hand over to Leader. Would you like to say a few words, Leader? Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Just like to say thank you to Ben for all his work as Deputy Lord Mayor in the year and for taking the difficult decision not to progress to being Lord Mayor. And I'd like to propose Rob Wood to take over as Deputy Lord Mayor. We all know Rob, and I'm sure both Rob and Debbie will do an excellent job.
Thank you very much. Is that seconded by... thank you, Councillor Jones. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lord Mayor. Thank you very much. I'd like to also place on record my thanks to Councillor Ben Dowling for the work he's done over the last 10 or so months. And as the leader of the council has said, I fully support his decision that he's come to in standing down as Deputy Lord Mayor a couple of months early. I'm delighted to formally second the proposal of Councillor Rob Wood as Deputy Lord Mayor. I think he'll make a great advocate for the city, along with his Deputy Lord Mayor, Lord Mayoress, Mayoress-to-be, Debbie, and I wish them all the luck for their deputy mayoral year.
Thank you very much, Councillor Jones. So, Councillor Wood, do you accept the nominations, please?
I do, Lord Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I have all those in favour, just to make sure? All those in favour? That's fine. It's unanimous. Thank you very much. So thank you very much, everybody. I declare Councillor Wood to be elected Deputy Lord Mayor of Portsmouth for the remainder of the municipal year. Can I now ask the new Deputy Lord Mayor to join with me up here so that he can subscribe to the declaration of acceptance of his office, which will be witnessed by the City Solicitor. Not quite awake, Councillor Jones.
Okay. I, Robert Wood, having been elected to the office of Deputy Lord Mayor of the City of Portsmouth, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of Deputy Lord Mayor according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct of members, which is expected of members of Portsmouth City Council. Thank you, everyone.
So it now gives me great pleasure to present to you the Deputy Lord Mayor's chain of your office. So I'm sure you'll wear it with pride. Could they pass, Sheila, pass us the chain, please? Supporting the Deputy Lord Mayor in carrying out their official duties, the remainder of the municipal year, the Deputy Lady Mayoress Deborah Wood will now be presented with a badge of office by the Lady Mayoress Mrs Lisa Tremorin. The Deputy Lady Mayoress will now subscribe a document undertaken to support the Deputy Lord Mayor in carrying out his official duties. This will be witnessed again by the City Solicitor. Thank you. Well done. Congratulations. Could the Lady Mayoress and the Deputy Lady Mayoress please come up here for a photograph with the Deputy Lord Mayor? Thank you. Just behind here is fine. You'll take some photos here, I think. Please come up. Lord, do you want to come up with me?
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
Everyone.
Would you like to resume to your seats, Deputy Lord Mayor? Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, please, yes. Just ask Sheila to assist the Deputy Lady Mayoress and the Lady Mayoress from the Chamber, and then we'll get on with our business this afternoon. Thank you. Thank you again, members, and as I say, congratulations to you both. Members, so let's get on with number 2, which is declarations of any interest. Members, if you have any describable pecuniary interest or personal prejudicial interest to declare in the items of the agenda before us, can you please indicate? No one, okay. So number 3, minutes. It is proposed by Councillor Vernon Jackson and seconded by Councillor Jones that the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 11th of February 2020, previously circulated with the agenda, be confirmed as a correct record. Are the minutes agreed, members? Yeah, okay, thank you very much. They're all agreed. Number 4, communications. Apologies. I've received apologies from absence from Councillor Ashmore, Councillor Hunt, Councillor Linda Symes, Councillor Hugh Mason, Councillor Morgan, who has business in Parliament. Councillor Leader, did you want to say something?
I think it's sensible if we could have a note within the minutes to say that members were advised that the minimum number of members should attend today, and therefore members were available to come in for this meeting, but took the advice in relation to health, and therefore their absence should not be taken in any way, in a negative way.
I do understand, Leader, that Councillor Hugh Mason wants it very clear that obviously he's not here due to the guidance that were on there yesterday, as did Matthew Winnington as well. So in view of the circumstances, a situation may respect the attendance record. Okay, so evacuation procedures. Also just to inform you that evacuation point is at the Queen Victoria statue in the Guildhall. Number 5, deputation to public under Standing Order 24. City Solicitor, did you want to say anything? There are none. Okay, so that's fine. Number 6, public questions. There are none received for today's meeting. So number 7, then, members' appointments. In accordance with the note circulated with the agenda item number 7, can I have any nominations for this Shadow Fire and Rescue Authority appointment? So, Leader, please.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. It seems very sensible to have the same person on both the Shadow Fire Authority and the Fire Authority. Therefore, I'm happy to propose Councillor Jason Fasackley to fulfil this role.
I need a seconder, Leader. Councillor Sanders, please. Second that. Thank you very much. So, all those in favour, please, could you show? Thank you very much. Thank you, members. Any against at all? No? Okay. So that's carried. Thank you again, members. So item held over to next ordinary meeting is agreed. That's the petition. So that's going to be held over. Urgent business is allowed for under agenda item number 9. And in accordance with Standing Order 26, request notice has been given and detailed on the green sheet. The urgent matter concerns the coronavirus situation. So I understand that the council leader wishes to address the council on this issue for up to 6 minutes. Other group leaders will then have the opportunity to speak in response to the agenda item for up to 6 minutes. Councillor Vernon Jackson, can I ask you to address this council? Thank you.
Lord Mayor, and I'll try to keep this brief because we want to finish this meeting by past. Colleagues, I'm sure everybody's aware of the very serious situation facing both the country and this city, and it's absolutely right and proper that the City Council does its part in trying to make sure that we respond to that. And therefore, today we've launched a 12-point plan of things that the City Council will be doing to try to make sure that we help and support both residents and businesses in the city. So, colleagues, just to let you know what these are, the first is to say the City Council is setting up a helpline to direct residents to the correct professional medical advice on what to do, so residents get this advice and they don't have to rely on rumour, which can so often be incorrect. Secondly, the City Council website and Facebook page will prominently show the advice and signpost residents to accurate sources of information. We'll also use the Hive to coordinate volunteers across the city. Thirdly, the City Council will work with food banks in the city to give them access to the very generous offers of help from local residents have made of food and volunteer time to the best use. But if necessary, the City Council will step in to try to make sure there is enough food at food banks. Fourthly, the services are looking at ways of reducing the number of day-to-day meetings needed. We'll try to carry out meetings by phone, and we hope the government updates their rules so that councils can make decisions by teleconferencing instead of us having to come in here as they forced us to do today. 5, we're looking at ways of opening up extra beds for the City Council run homes to allow residents to be transferred out of QA to free up beds. This is expensive and rely on government financial support. We think we can free up, bring in about another 35 beds, which will effectively mean that QA could empty a ward out of QA and into beds that we can free up. But the cost is around £65,000 a week, and a couple of weeks ago we've asked government to be able to finance this, but we haven't heard back from them so far. 6, we've written to all the main supermarkets to ask them to meet with them to understand how we can protect the supply of goods to all residents and how we can get food to people who are self-isolating at home. 7th, in the same way, we're looking to remove the 9:30 start time for concessionary bus fares to allow more elderly and vulnerable residents to shop earlier when supermarkets may be quieter. And my thanks to Councillor Hopper for her suggestion to do that, which she passed on from a local resident, and that was particularly useful. 8, we're looking at increasing the cleaning within council-run buildings to try to stop infection spreading. 9, the services providing food for the homeless are being hit because of loss of volunteers. The City Council will look to step into this area and provide meals for people who rely on this service while sleeping on the streets. 10, we're looking to see if we can provide food for children who currently receive free school meals if schools are closed for an extended period. 11, in care homes, we're looking to reduce the chances of infection by increased cleaning and discouraging non-essential visits. And finally, we'll be contacting all residents who receive bus passes to try to give them advice and to offer them help. So, for instance, if they're self-isolating, to see if we can use volunteers to help them buying their food so that people don't have to come out of the self-imposed self-isolation. So, colleagues, I'm sure everybody at the City Council is working extremely hard. We've made the decision today at a meeting of the Gold Command that the City Council is moving to business critical. And that means that some services will be shutting down because we are encouraging staff to work from home. We're also saying to staff who are in the vulnerable groups that you cannot come into work, that you have to be at home. And we're also looking to make sure that we redeploy people to make sure that the absolutely critical services of the Council does remain open. There's a briefing at 3 o'clock this afternoon, which all members are invited to join by phone. At Group Leaders, we talked about doing this at least every week so that all members can get as much information as possible. And I'm sure everybody will work together to try to make sure that we pull together to make sure that the people of the city get through this very difficult time. Thank you, Lord Mayor.
Thank you very much, Leader. Could I ask Councillor Councillor Donna Jones to address the Council on this matter again? Again, you have up to 6 minutes, Councillor Jones, please.
Thank you very much, Lord Mayor. We are in unprecedented times, as we've seen, and particularly with what's happened around the world, starting with China, moving across to mainland Europe, in particular, friends, family, and for some of us loved ones living in Italy and Spain. We know that the UK is a couple of weeks behind, and maybe with Italy a month behind their outbreak there of the coronavirus. And so we almost have the benefit of hindsight of what some of the other countries have done that's worked well and things that haven't worked so well. I think that the Portsmouth City Council 12-point plan announced today is to be welcomed. I do have concern slightly around encouraging bus passes and people to be going out on the bus. However, I think this is a comprehensive plan. I think it's well thought out, and I commend the City Council and the Local Resilience Forum for the work that they have done. We've got excellent public services in Portsmouth, from our hospital, our ambulance service. We are privileged to have the armed forces here, and of course our fantastic police services, to name but some, who I know will be keeping us safe and doing all they can. We cross-party across the council. I know the Deputy Leader of the Council and I and Councillor Susie Horton have had conversations today about the huge response we've had from volunteers wanting to reach out to us as councillors to offer their support. And it really is important that this is done in a coordinated way, that there is a responsible approach to this, and that we're making sure that we are protecting vulnerable people by only the most appropriate of volunteers going into their homes where absolutely needed. But people can help from processing food packages, to picking up food shopping from supermarkets and delivering it to people's homes, to picking up prescriptions, and our brilliant charity in Portsmouth Hive Portsmouth, which is affiliated to the City Council, are coordinating this. So for people who do want to get more information, you'll see it on the Council's website, the Council's Facebook page, which the Deputy Leader of the Council is, I understand, is overseeing, but it's hiveportsmouth.org.uk. So from me, thank you very much for the 12-point plan. I think it's very important. I think we all need to stay vigilant. We all need to look out for our neighbours. And in these unprecedented times, I think we need to remain calm and make sure that our response to things is proportionate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask Councillor Coles if he wanted to say a few words on this, but he's declined not to say anything at the moment in time. But thank you very much, Councillor Coles. So could I now ask Councillor Udy to address the Council? Again, you have up to 6 minutes, Councillor. Thank you very much. Councillor Udy.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to the leader who has execute this plan and officers at the council who are obviously working very hard. I just want to say thank you to the people that set up the Portsmouth Coronavirus Support Group on Facebook, who I know are working hard with the Hive, and I want to thank New Wilders for that. I just want to ask really about the help, and this is going to be going down the further line, as Councillor Jones mentioned. We're about maybe a month behind Italy, but we've seen the measures that Europe have done. We're shutting down infrastructure pretty much. So I need to just ask, we need help for those who may fall into debt regarding rents to Portsmouth City Council homes and council tax especially, and I would graciously ask if we could suspend what would be the collection techniques for council tax debt that happen here when they get referred quite easily towards collection letters and threats of court action, because a lot of people will be kind of financially crippled when people might not be able to work, and I would hope that we can reassure residents that we're not going to be asking them for money at the soonest possible moment, just to take that worry off their mind, as well as worrying about their health. Their mental health everyone's mental health is in the bin at the moment. So thank you.
Leader, did you want to say anything on Councillor Udy, what she's just said?
It's an area we definitely need to look at and see what we can do, but we'll need to do that and involve everybody, all the council in those sort of discussions, which I hope we can do with the briefings, but we'll look to Chris to be able to talk to us about that and how that might happen.
Thank you very much, Leader. So thank you. That brings us to the end of this urgent item. Moving on to item number 10, members. Number 10 is recommendation from the Cabinet meeting held on the 10th of March 2020, Annual Capital Strategy 2020-21, 2029 to 30. Members, a recommendation from the Cabinet meeting which met on the 10th of March concerning the Annual Capital Strategy 2021, 2029 to 30 has been previously circulated. So I now propose to call the minute. If you wish to oppose the item, please indicate. Can I also remind everyone that any item to which no objection is made will be deemed to have been approved. So I now call upon minute 24, Annual Capital Strategy 2020-21, 2029 to 30. Thank you very much. Councillor Vernon-Jackson, Leader, please.
Because of the time, I'm very happy to propose this. There's an amendment that's come in from Councillor Jones. Very happy to accept it, so we can move forward.
Can we have a seconder for that, please? And then we can circulate it. So have you got a seconder? Sorry,
I've just spotted a technical issue. Councillor Vernon-Jackson's moving the report, and he's also seconded the amendment. You can't amend your own report, can you? So we might need to get someone out. Stuart, is that correct, or am I wrong on that? as Councillor Stubbs seconds it, and then we'll. Yes, yeah, you sign the principal one, yeah, and then we'll take it as Councillor Stubbs, if that's all right. Do you want me to speak on the amendment? Well, it's just literally as he stood up to speak, I thought, I don't know why I asked him to second it earlier. It's my own schoolgirl error. I should know this after 12 years. Would you like me to propose the amendment, Lord?
Just about to say that, yes. Would you propose the amendment, Councillor Jones? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm very grateful to the I'm very grateful to the Leader of the Council for his hypothetical seconding of this amendment. And it was good to be able to speak to him this morning and with the Chief Executive and also our Finance Director, Chris Ward, about this. This is really just to make sure that those not in the Cabinet, so that could be Liberal Democrat Council.
Sorry, Councillor. I've just had Stuart do you want to just say it?
Actual cabinet recommendation had been seconded before we get on to. I did have that. Thank you.
That's okay. It's not a problem. So all this is about ensuring that all members of the City Council are aware where, in the culture we live in with government running beauty pageants for councils, local authorities having to bid for money, for capital pots of money, we fully appreciate, Councillor Stubbs and I, that it is right and proper that there is a degree of flexibility in the capital programme that's agreed at Cabinet each year in February and adopted on the 1st of April, that money may have to move occasionally to support match funding with capital bids. So in order to assist that, but also to make sure that opposition councillors and everyone is aware, we have brought forward the amendment which simply says a report for noting be brought to the Cabinet and full Council whenever the Council submits a bid for external funding that requires a local capital contribution in excess of £500,000 if such a contribution would involve significantly reducing the resources available to already approved schemes. And as I said, I'm grateful to the Leader of the Council for indicating his support for this straightforward amendment.
Thank you. Leader, did you want to subsume it? And yes, you're happy with that. Did you want to say any words? Yeah, it's open for debate. So, does anybody want to talk on this at all? No? Okay, we need to go to the vote, don't we? All those in favour, please show. Yeah, okay, any against? No? Okay, that's passed. Thank you very much. Thank you. We'll carry on with the amendment. Thank you very much. So, yes?
We take 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 16. So, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 16 as one proposal that we drops the wrong word. We move item 15 to the next council meeting, but that we do the rest of them as a unit, and if that's all right, I'm happy to propose them as en bloc.
Sorry, yeah. First of all, you have actually agreed to those items that aren't, you did that at the outset, you've agreed those items that aren't being dealt with today. The only issue I have with that is you would be moving recommendations of governance and audit and standards, which you're precluded from sitting on. I appreciate that, but we can fast track it, because we're able to do that, Lord.
So, item number 11, recommendation from the Cabinet meeting held on the 10th of March, Treasury Management Report 2021. Okay, members, a recommendation from the Cabinet meeting which was meant on the 10th of March. Yeah, okay, now propose to call the minute. Yeah, if you wish to oppose it, then I'll call minute 25, Treasury Management Policy for 2021. Agreed. Okay, agreed. Okay, that's that one done. That's okay. So now on to...
The bottom of page 13.
Yeah, that's it. Number 12, recommendations from the Governance and Audit Standards Committee meeting held on the 3rd of March, appointment of an independent person. Members of recommendation, agreed. Minute 9, I call minute 9, agreed. Agreed. Everybody happy with that? Yes, okay. So there's that one done. I'm going through number 15. I now call upon, is it Councillor Madden? No, he's not here. So, recommendation from Governance and Audit.
Bottom of page 15.
Yeah. That's what I got. Because Councillor Madden will now go to the vote.
No. Members of the recommendation, that one there.
Members of recommendation from... there. Is that it?
That's right.
Yeah, sorry, got different pages, sorry. Members, the recommendation from the Governance and Audit and Standards Committee meeting held on 3rd of March concerning Employment Code of Conduct, personal use of social media has been previously circulated with the agenda. I now propose to call Minute 11, Employees Code of Conduct, personal use of social media. Agreed? Okay, that's all agreed. Right. What's that? 14. Yeah, I'm there now. Yeah, I've got it now. Number 14, recommendation for the Governance and Audit Standards Committee meeting held on the 3rd of March, consultation agenda concerning Part 2, Section 5, Chief Officers Delegated Authority. I now call Minute 14. All those agreed? Agreed? Fine, that's all agreed. Everyone happy with that? Okay, so...
15, of course, is already, you've already
Yep,
decided.
number 15 is held over. So we've done that one. Sorry, I'm just flying through it. 16, number 19. Yep, okay. So the Employment Committee. Yep, recommendation of Employment Committee held on the 6th of March. Pay Policy Statement. I now call Minute 6, Pay Policy Statement 2021. All agreed? Agreed? Okay, no problem at all. Where are we now?
So we're now on 23 notices of motion.
23.
Notices of motions.
Good Lord, notices of motions. Notices of motions. Motions held at the extraordinary general meeting is agreed. Members, next ordinary meeting is agreed. Just to remind members that shortly following this meeting, a briefing by all members of the Converse will be conducted by a teleconference. Dial-in details have been sent to you under a separate cover. So that concludes today's council meeting, although I would like to make one final comment, and it is a great final comment. As you know, that this is the last scheduled meeting before the annual council meeting, please God. So may I thank all colleagues for their support over the year and making my time in the chair here a very enjoyable time, 99%. And I appreciate this will not be the last year of office for some of us. We thought it was, but it's not. Even those of you that were thinking that it was. So again, thank you all so much for a fabulous year. To everybody out there, please be safe. And I'd like to say to you all, thank you very much. Please, if you want to come for a quick coffee afterwards in my parlour, you're more than welcome. But that concludes today's meeting. Sorry, yes.
I think it would be right and proper for us to record our thanks to you, Lord Mayor, for your work as an ebullient, lively and fulsome Lord Mayor, and thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you very much, members. Thank you. Now, just... Yeah, 1 minute late. It's not bad. So thank you to everybody out there. This now concludes this afternoon's meeting. Thank you, members.